So, we are back with another Bracketology prediction, and this weekend there was a ton of basketball and a ton of craziness that happened. I mean, you have Kentucky go into Kansas and, in all honesty, beat the shit out of them. Up, I think it was like 25 points at one point. Ended up winning 80-62 against the Jayhawks. And then you have Alabama at home upset Baylor by, I think it was like 9 or something like that. And then Big Ten, you had Illinois just barely beating out Northwestern by 3. So definitely not the basketball Illinois wants to be playing. But top overall seed, we have Auburn, especially after their victory at home against Oklahoma. And then first team out, we have West Virginia, with the last team in being Wyoming. And just a small but significant point here, the ACC and Pac-12 have 4 and 3 teams predicted to be in, respectively. Whereas West Coast Conference, so Gonzaga, BYU, San Francisco, and I think it was St. Mary's is the other one that's going to be in here. And then the Mountain West, they both have 4. So might be worrying that the ACC may have fewer teams than usual this year. So our last 4 buys for the bubble, we have Loyola Chicago, Seton Hall, North Carolina, and then San Francisco, like I just mentioned. The last 4 in, we have San Diego State, Florida, Creighton, and Wyoming. Our first 4 out, we have West Virginia, Oregon, Mississippi State, and Florida State. And then the next 4 out, we have Notre Dame, UAB, SMU, and then VCU. So, new to Bracketology, at least for from this past week, or this past update, number 16, Hawaii, and then both Florida and Wyoming are now 12 seeds based on these predictions. And then you also have 14th seed Oakland. I don't know why I said Oklahoma, but, or I almost said it rather. And then 13 seeds North Texas and Drake, which Drake just came off a win against Loyola Chicago, which is why they are down to a 10 seed. Also on the downtrend, you have 15 seed Princeton, 3 seed Arizona after getting beat by UCLA. We have Davidson going down to an 11 seed, Houston down to a 4, BYU down to a 9 seed, Seattle down to a 15, Seton Hall down to a 10, Kansas down to 2 after getting beat by Kentucky, and then Colorado State and USC both going down for the 7-10 matchup here. Creighton down to an 11. And then up on the rise, we have Miami, Boise State, both up to an 8 seed. Arkansas up to a 9 seed. Toledo up to a 12. North Carolina up to an 11, as well as San Diego State. Wisconsin up to a 3. Longwood up to the 15 seed. Purdue
up. Get that. Could you try again?
Okay, thank you for interrupting. Sorry.
You're welcome.
No one asked you. Purdue up to the 4th, number 1 seed after their overtime. Or no, it wasn't overtime. It was Jaden Ivey's 3-pointer that prevented it from going to overtime against Ohio State this past weekend. And then Texas up to a 6th seed, which at the time of recording, they just lost by 13 at Texas Tech. So Chris Beard's, I want to say, return to Texas Tech was not that pleasant for him. And then Indiana up to a 7. Murray State up to a 10 seed. So far unbeaten in the Ohio Valley Conference. Only have 2 losses on the season. I think one of them was to Auburn, and I can't think of the other one off the top of my head. And then Kentucky up to the 2 line, Weber State up to the 14, Chattanooga up to the 12. So there's definitely been a lot of movement here. And now it's time for the fun part, actually making the predictions. So just like last time, I'm just going to put a 1 in if I think they're going to win, 0 if they're going to lose. So Auburn is going to beat the winner of Southern in New Orleans. Miami versus Oklahoma. I haven't seen much of either team, but I'm going to go with Miami over Oklahoma. Illinois, I feel, would beat Florida, winning between Florida and Wyoming. And then Providence over Vermont. And then I am going to pick the 11 seed North Carolina Tar Heels as an upset pick. Michigan State to follow with a win over Jacksonville State. Don't know what's happening. Okay. USC, they've been on a steep downhill. I don't want to say like crash and burn, but they're headed that way. So I'm going to have to go with another upset in Colorado State. And then Kansas will beat Longwood. Moving over to the West, Gonzaga will beat Hawaii. I don't know why I'm having issues. Boise State's been hot. 14 games in a row. I think Arkansas will be more battle-tested, though, with the strength of the SEC conference. So I'll have them with the 9/8 quote-unquote upset. Ohio State's going to beat Toledo. Texas Tech over the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. LSU has been struggling recently, lost 4 of their last 5, but I see them beating San Diego State, which I believe will beat Creighton, and then we'll have Wisconsin over Oakland. This one might be a rough matchup, just because, like, if it were to start now, Iowa has not been playing their best basketball. They lost a couple weeks ago 48-46 to Rutgers, and then lost to Penn State in overtime at Penn State. So I don't know. Obviously, it's not going to. The tournament wouldn't start right now, but if it were to, I think I'd have to go with Seton Hall, which I've not checked how they're doing, like in conference, but I just don't have a lot of confidence in Iowa. And then we'll have UCLA over Seattle. Moving down to the South region, we're going to have Baylor over the 16 seed, whoever wins that. And then Wake Forest I'll have beating BYU. I don't know why I put a 1 there. Alabama will be Chattanooga. I believe Alabama was playing Auburn today, or I guess quote-unquote yesterday, and ended up losing, which I can actually check the score of that real quick. Nope, that's not the right thing. All right. I'm pretty sure Alabama lost to Auburn. But Houston is going to beat North Texas. And then I'm going to go with another 11/6 upset in San Francisco over UConn. Arizona is going to beat Weber State. Iowa State, another team that's been battle-tested in a strong Big 12 conference. I think I was watching Jerry Palm earlier in his bracketology, and he was saying how the only team not going to make it would be Kansas State. So even though Iowa State's non-conference record doesn't look the best, they are going to be battle-tested, and I feel that will be enough to take them over Loyola Chicago. Kentucky beating Appalachian State. And then moving on to the East bracket, we're going to have Purdue over Colgate. TCU, I don't remember who they played in the Big 12 SEC challenge, but I believe that they did get the win. I think it was against Florida. So I will have them beating St. Mary's. Marquette is going to win over Iona. And then we have the Tennessee Volunteers beating the Drake Bulldogs. Texas over Davidson. Villanova will take care of Wagner. And then while Indiana did upset Purdue earlier this year at home, I feel like Murray State's just too hot right now. They would be able to uh, disrupt Indiana's flow and take them down. And then Duke will beat Princeton. So staying in the East, we will move to the round of 32, where Purdue will take down TCU. Marquette, I feel, will lose to Tennessee. Texas is going down against Villanova. And unfortunately for Murray State, they just ran into a Duke team who I think will be motivated by Coach K's last year. Okay, they're sorry. I have Twitch chat up, and one of my viewers said "whoa, whoa, whoa," and I'm wondering which team he's saying it about. Until we get that in chat, we're going to move on. Baylor will beat Wake Forest. Alabama will beat Houston, the 5-4 upset. San Francisco, their luck will run out against a very good Arizona team. And then Iowa State is going to lose against Kentucky. Oh, no. He's saying Indiana's going to win it all. Sorry, Derek, but I don't think Trace Jackson Davis is going to be able to carry them the whole way. He's a good player, not going to lie, but it's not going to be happening. And then Gonzaga will beat Arkansas. I haven't seen Texas Tech enough this year. I know they did upset Baylor. I do want to pick Ohio State over Texas Tech, though. LSU, I think they're going to be struggling. Well, not struggling, but not going to be as good as Wisconsin. And then Seton Hall will be losing to UCLA. Moving on to the Midwest, round of 32, Auburn is going to handle Miami. I feel Illinois could take down Providence, although I haven't been looking too much at Providence. I know they had success in the Big East so far this year. And I'm going to fuel the fire of a Cinderella team. I'm taking North Carolina to the Sweet 16, where they will meet up with Kansas. And just for the fun of it, we're going to have North Carolina beating Kansas. And then Auburn is going to take care of Illinois, unfortunately. Just a bad matchup for the Fighting Illini. Gonzaga will take care of Ohio State, who in that game against Purdue actually came back from 20 points. So E.J. Liddell, really good player, kind of fueled that comeback. I think he had like the final 9 points for Ohio State or something like that. But Wisconsin is going to go down against UCLA. And then into the South region, I feel Baylor will lose to Alabama again. And then Kentucky Wildcats, there's going to be too hot for Arizona to handle. Purdue will take down Tennessee. Duke will take down Villanova. And then, so that sets up our Elite Eight. We'll start with the Midwest. Unfortunately, North Carolina's Cinderella run is going to be done here. UCLA will beat Gonzaga. And moving down to the south, an SEC matchup, one for the ages. Kentucky is going to beat Alabama, and I think Purdue. They just have so much talent with Jaden Ivey, Zach Edey, Stefanovic, which I honestly despise him just because of like it seems whenever Illinois plays him, he's just a thorn in their side. He's a good player, really good shooter. And then you also got I think it's Travion Williams, backup for Zach Edey. So kind of just like a 1-2 punch there. So Duke will be taken out by Purdue. So this sets up Auburn versus Purdue. I wanna say Purdue will be beating Auburn. And then UCLA versus Kentucky. I got to go with the Wildcats from Kentucky. So that sets up Purdue and Kentucky national championship. I got to go Kentucky. It's my second time in a row picking them. I was just really impressed with how well they handled Kansas at Kansas in the field house. Early in the game, I had just finished watching the Illini game and turned on the Kansas-Kentucky game, and it was already like 15-point lead, and it was like, I think it was like 10 minutes in or something like that, and it was just like, wow, did not expect that, because you think this was going to be like a primetime game. It's supposed to be like extremely close, and then you change the channel, and all of a sudden Kentucky's up double digits, and it's just like, oh, did not expect that. I knew as soon as I selected. Well, okay. Here's who's worse, Eric. Did you want Purdue to win, or did you want Kentucky to win? Because I know both of those are rivals of Indiana. I will wait for his response though. But those, well, Duke winning it all. I don't know. Like what was it? They barely won, I think, at home against Clemson earlier this year. They got upset by Miami. They just haven't looked their strongest. Is mainly what I'm basing it off of. And honestly, I know you can't go like you can't compare it to like Zion, RJ Barrett, like that year, which I did when I was making brackets. I did call them losing to Michigan State in that game, but yeah, that I don't know. I just don't like. I have confidence in them to get to the Elite Eight, but I don't think they can take down the two-headed monster of Purdue big men. But yeah, that is going to be it for me on this bracketology update. I will record another one whenever it comes out. But until then, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your picks would be. And I will see you guys next time.